Good morning. Good morning. Yay, now we're in the building. Thank you all for coming out on this dreary, rainy February day. I forgot what month it was there for just a second. It still feels like it's January 270th, right? So, welcome to Unity of Palmyra. We're centered in love. We embrace a positive path for spiritual living, even on rainy, drizzly, gray days. We are an open and affirming community. We love you exactly as you are in all of your magnificent glory, and we're so happy that you're here with us this morning. So, let's take a deep breath and become fully present, whether you are in this room or watching us through the ethers. We breathe together as one. Affirming our connection, affirming our oneness, affirming the presence and principle that we call God. And so we give ourselves a gift this morning, and that is the gift of being fully, completely, totally present. We let go of what was. We let go of what will be. We are here now, in the sweetness of this now moment. For just the next hour, we let go of whatever is happening in the world, and we embrace this time. And as always, we enter into this experience with gratitude as we say thank you. Thank you for this time that we have carved out of our day and our week, this time to come together to remember the truth of who we are, that we are spiritual beings having an incredibly human experience. And in this community, we honor both of those states of being, both our divinity and our humanity. We also say thank you for whatever safe space you were in this morning, whether it's here in the sanctuary or downstairs heating up soup for fellowship or joining us online. We are so glad that you're here. And finally, we say thank you. Thank you for one another, for this beloved community so committed to making a difference in the world, to being that change that we wish to see. And so it is. Amen. So please stand. Together, may the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to hurt, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, divine Spirit. And before we sing our opening song, We Are One in the Spirit, I want to thank Kate so much. Janie called yesterday and she is sick. Kathy has the flu. Janie, Jody, and Gwen all have really horrible head colds. So we are just going to send out all sorts of good healing vibes to them as we are singing. And Kate, thank you so much for coming to our rescue on very short notice. All righty, we are one in the Spirit, and yes, we are.
We are one in the Spirit, we are one in our hearts. We are one in the Spirit, we are one in our hearts. We celebrate
Let's share together in our vision. Centered in love, we embrace a positive path for spiritual living. And our mission, wherever we are, we provide a welcoming community that inspires and encourages all who gather here through the teaching, sharing, and practice of universal spiritual principles. And one of the ways we practice those principles is to honor wherever you are on your hugging journey. So if you want to hug, we will bring it on in. If you're more comfortable with the handshake, aww, that's so cute. Sorry, squirrel. If you're more comfortable with a handshake, we will honor that. And if you want us to leave you completely alone, we will. Have a great time.
At the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Here. Thanks for providing the harmony on the here. That was lovely. All right, I'm going to go very quickly through the announcements because we do have our monthly hug meeting. HUG simply stands for help us grow, help us get together, help us whatever. It's just a very casual monthly community meeting where we give some updates, we get input from you, and we have a ton of announcements at the hug meeting today. But here's the big one. We have a certificate of occupancy. Thank you, little baby Jesus, and everyone who has worked overtime to make that happen. So we are now able to move forward. I'll give you a whole bunch more details at the hug meeting, but we're able to finally move forward on the next steps for getting the lift. Okay, Having said that, and also wanting to thank the prayer chaplains for them praying over their certificate of occupancy, our prayer chaplains for today are Charles and Sherry, and they are sitting right there. They're going to be holding sacred space for us throughout the service, and they'll also be over here in case anyone would like one-on-one prayer after the service. So again, real quick, today is Youth Ed. TLC Day is tender loving care of our building is next Sunday after church. There will be pizza. I'm doing actually 3 spiral dynamics workshops over the next month if you are interested in that. Gwen is doing the Unclobber book study. The tickets for the 25th anniversary party will be available next week. A lot more details about that. Charles has made a beautiful Let's Pray magnet for your Frigidator with prayer@unityofpalmyra.org on there. So they will be available at the Hug meeting, and this is so when you have a prayer request, you just shoot off an email to this, and they will put you on our prayer list. Isn't that awesome? And before we get to the Hug meeting, just for those watching online who might be interested, in the Rose Room, we prepared altars for you to take home for the Lenten series. Our Lenten series is based on Peter Boland's book, The 7 Stone Path, which is all about the different aspects of wisdom and how we can deepen our wisdom on the spiritual journey. And so we thought it would be cool to make you guys some altars. So here's what they look like. I'm going to show you how you put it together. So this is the altar. It's laminated. And these are the 7 stones we're going to be exploring during Lent. And then you have a little bag so that every week you can put a stone on the stone we've covered for that week. And then in this upper right-hand corner, there's a little votive for you that has stones on it so that you can light a candle when you are contemplating whatever week we're doing in the series. So there are, all the supplies for that are in the Rose Room. So even if you can't make it down to fellowship, you can still get all the supplies for this. So you want one of these, and one of these, and I need another hand. So there we go. And we'll go into a lot more detail about that series during the Hug meeting too. And I think that is it. Miss Lana, would you like to read the daily word?
World peace. I hold a vision of a peaceful world. The peace I wish to see in the world begins in my own heart. To call upon the peace within me and bring it into the world, I use my spiritual gift of love to feel in harmony with all others. I use my power of imagination to envision the world filled with peace. And through my gift of will, I choose peaceful responses no matter the circumstances. I envision God's healing, loving power, enfolding the earth and all its people. As I claim this spiritual vision, my heart is lifted, and it's easier for me to perpetuate peace. The notion that others are holding the same vision of a peaceful world encourages and comforts me. I pray our shared goal of peace on earth touches every heart and mind in every corner of the world. And from Isaiah 26:3, those of steadfast mind you keep in peace because they trust in you.
I am home, my family is here. I feel loved by the ones I hold so dear. And when my family needs me, I promise to be there. And when I need my family, I'm lifted up in prayer.
And so let's just take a few minutes to lift up all of the members of our family who are under the weather right now, literally and figuratively, as we send healing prayers out to our music team, to our licensed teacher, to our office manager, to anyone else who is struggling with the seasonal crud that is going around. And we just send them warm hugs and thoughts of chicken soup and hot tea with lemon and honey. And we surround them with healing, healthy thoughts and energy as we support them in taking exquisitely good care of themselves so that they can come back to us soon. And then we focus on the peace that we just heard spoken of so eloquently in the daily word. The peace that begins with us. I'm reminded of a quote by Marianne Williamson where she said, "Angry people cannot create a peaceful world." And so when we feel our anger coming up, we recognize it, we observe it, and we use that incredible energy to do good. We use that energy to deepen our practice, to deepen our resolve, to deepen our commitment to being the change we wish to see. So we don't deny it, we don't shove it away, we use it, and we channel it, and we focus on creating peace within ourselves, peace within our community, peace in our country, and peace in the world. It is such powerful and important work that we do. And we recognize that at the base of all of that work, the very foundation of that work, is the love and the acceptance that we embrace as community. We also recognize that even in the midst of what seems like chaos, we find moments of joy. Perhaps the most radical resistance is to find joy. Little moments. Joy when we're alone, joy when we're together. Joy as we sip that first cup of coffee in the morning, or cuddle with a cat or a four-legged furry friend, or connect with an old friend, or make a new one. Joy in coming together as community to support one another, to sing and laugh and cry and hug and eat good soup. We insist on joy. And that joy helps us to find the peace that passes understanding. That peace that starts with us. And as we have affirmed ever since COVID, whether we are together or apart, we are forever connected at the heart. And so it is. Namaste.
The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. You are If we all sing one song of love, one song of peace, one song to make all our troubles cease, one hymn, one theme, one hope, one dream. Imagine what tomorrow would bring if we all sing one song. If we all learn the words, just think how great the sound would be. And since the song is in freedom's key, one voice you'd hear, so pure, so clear. Imagine what tomorrow would bring if we all sing one song. There's just one sun that warms our day, the same moon and stars light our way. This little ball whirling in space, it's our only home, our only place. If we all sing one song of love, one song of peace, one song to make our troubles cease. Imagine what tomorrow would bring. Imagine what tomorrow would bring. Imagine what tomorrow would bring if we all sing one song.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And that was Marvin Hamlish, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
And Marilyn and Alan Bergman.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Wrote the words.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're back to our 4-question series, and we're actually spending 2 weeks on What Do I Love? Yeah, and Muck and the Grace. We'll get to that. We're living in that, by the way. So, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, we were looking at becoming what we love, right? That what we love is what we focus on, and so it's literally who we become. And I found this great quote by Dr. Jean Shinoda Bolen. She says, when you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings joy, care enough about yourself to make room for it in your life. Amen? Right? And don't say you don't have enough time, right? Care enough about yourself to make room for it, whatever it is that brings you joy. So this week we're going to look at different aspects of love. We're going to look at love and language, and then love in community with others, which, okay, that's my favorite topic of all time. So when I first saw, when Muller was talking about love and language, did anybody else immediately go to the 5 love languages? Okay, it's not that. So get that out of your mind, because that's not what he's talking about here. So what he's observing is that what we love creates the language through which we express ourselves. So here are some excerpts from this. Each of us has a language that expresses most thoroughly our relationship with our life, and with the hidden things of this world. Isn't he poetic? He's just so poetic. I love him. What we love becomes our language. The things we love hold our experience of grace. They give voice to our heart and spirit. They provide tangible shapes for those things that deep inside are formless. Any language, whether it be spiritual, emotional, artistic, or political, forms a paradigm that shows us where to look, that teaches us what to listen for, that helps us to decide what is most important. Our language affects our orientation, our alliances, and our assumptions. It directs all our senses to watch especially carefully for those things that our language holds dear. So just for some examples, so a doctor or a health professional will speak the language of healing. An artist will speak the language of color and texture and light. An educator will speak the language of curiosity and learning, and the literal definition or the root of educate is educare, which doesn't mean to fill up, it means to call forth. So educators will call forth, they will speak that language. A therapist will speak the language of emotional intelligence. So how we speak, the words, even the tone of what we say, points to what we love and to what we value. So we have our own language in Unity. We even have a name for it. We call it Unity Speak. So this usually refers to our value of positivity, of looking for opportunity around every corner. It's even reflected in our vision. We embrace a positive path for spiritual living, and actually one of our values is positive. So we are doubly positive here at Unity of Palmyra. And like any language, it's most effective and most powerful when it comes from an authentic place. So Muller addresses this. He says, a regular practice of meditation, prayer, writing, giving, or simply reciting a mantra can allow our mind to rest into what we love. A good practice will naturally flow from what we love, so it will not become a chore or a guilty obligation, but rather an act of great joy and love. So back to our Unity Speak. I love how he says it needs to come from an authentic place. There's a term I found a couple of years ago in a piece that I read called toxic positivity. Have you guys heard of that or read it? So what it means is that positivity isn't coming from an authentic place. It's coming from a need to bypass what's going on, right? And that's not what our positive means, right? We don't ignore what's going on, and we don't ignore people who are suffering, right? You will never hear me say, if you come to me with a challenge, oh, just think positively. And if I do, you are free to gib slap me on the back of the head, okay? Seriously. Because what people who are experiencing a challenge need is for someone to listen and to understand. Not to bypass our discomfort in the presence of their challenge. Because that's what that's about. So we're not talking about toxic positivity. We are saying that even in the worst of situations, we will always look for something positive to come out of it, right? That's why we say in the presence of an obstacle, can we find an opportunity? All right? Is there something in here that can come out of this that is positive? But it is never about ignoring what is happening or shutting down someone who's going through a rough time. And I do have to acknowledge this community for being very conscious about that and very mindful about that. So he says there's power in recognizing that what we love will determine our language. So when we're willing to observe our language, when we're willing to notice what we're saying that we love and that we care about, we also have the opportunity then to look at our actions. Do our actions align with what we say we love and care about? Again, that's back to that authentic place. If we say that we love someone or something, but our actions speak differently, then we have the opportunity, here's that word again, to align our language with what we truly love. This is reminiscent of the right speech that's referenced in Buddhism as part of the Eightfold Path. And of course, it's my monthly opportunity to bring up, is it true, is it kind, is it necessary, right? Bringing incredible mindfulness to our language and integrity to our language. So this leads us to love in community with others, which is, again, one of my favorite topics. So back to Muller, he says, being in community with others is an inescapable part of a full and meaningful life. I would say being part of this community makes my life more full and meaningful. Gathering to observe ritual, ceremony, parade, pilgrimage, festival, soup. I added that part. These are the ways we remember the rhythm of things, the triumph of the spirit, the cycle of birth and death, the deepening of a life together. We live in our body, and we live in the presence of the bodies of others. We cannot have a spiritual life that is completely separate from our corporeal selves. Preach it, brother. We need to see one another, to touch and be touched, to exchange some gifts, some energy, some knowing that can only be transmitted in the physical body from one to another. It is tangible, yet mystical. It is physical, yet immeasurable and invisible. So, this is the muck and the grace of being in spiritual community. And that's actually a quote from The Holy Longing by Ronald Rolheiser. And what he's talking about is that being in spiritual community has both muck and grace. And it's, in my experience, the times where we tend to grow the most and become the closest is when we're dealing with the muck. You know, look what happened during COVID, how we all came together. This community grew during COVID because we embraced the muck and we welcomed in the grace of being in spiritual community. So I think I shared this with you guys last week, but it's worth sharing again. It reminds me of the first weekend of our seminary. So Diane always opened it with two stories. The first one was, you know, you're looking around here today and you're thinking, oh, you know, what am I doing here? These people are all so spiritual and so wonderful, and I'm not worthy to be a minister, right? She said 6 months from now, you're going to be looking around going, what are they doing here? Right? Has anyone ever experienced in a significant relationship that the things that most endeared you to your partner in the beginning, ... right, are the things that as life goes on tend to be the most annoying, right? Well, that's humanity. That's being in relationship. That's embracing the muck of it all. But the other story that she would tell is the one I shared 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, I keep saying last week, where we are rocks, we are muck-covered gems thrown into the tumbler, and it's only by tumbling together that all those rough edges are tumbled off and the true brilliance of the gems is exposed. So the muck is the tumbler, and so we come through those interactions, both pleasant and uncomfortable, that bring us out the other side as polished gems. So this brings me to talking about the beloved community, because I can't talk about community and love without talking about the beloved community. And I want to share just a little bit from Kenneth Smith and Ira Zepp. They wrote a book about MLK, and this is how he defined the beloved community. He says that behind his concept is his assumption that human existence is social in nature. And this is their quote. The solidarity of the human family is a phrase he frequently used to express this idea. We are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. Inescapable network of mutuality, he said in one of his addresses. This was a way of affirming that reality is made up of structures that form an interrelated whole. In other words, that human beings are dependent upon each other. Whatever a person is or possesses, he owes to others who have preceded him. As King wrote, whether we realize it or not, each of us lives eternally in the red, meaning in debt. Recognition of one's indebtedness to past generations should inhibit the sense of self-sufficiency and promote awareness that personal growth cannot take place apart from meaningful relationships with other persons, that the I cannot attain fulfillment without the thou. So Jim Locker describes the beloved community as a collection of individuals who are learning how to love themselves, learning how to love one another, and learning how to love the universe. So inherent in this definition is the importance of us becoming clear about who we are as individuals so we can bring that to our community and contribute to what the community loves. So this community loves learning. This community loves diversity and compassion and growth and contagious optimism. Those are all parts of the definition of our values that we came to together. So it defines who we are as individuals and as a congregation. So back to the authenticity and integrity of language. So it's very important that since we've said this is who we are, that this is actually how we show up. And so part of our monthly hug meeting is basically to say, how are we doing? Are we showing up as who we say that we are? The other part of this section of Wayne's book is looking at love and sadness, which I thought was interesting. And as I alluded to earlier, it's only been recently that we have addressed sadness and fear and anger and the shadow within ourselves and with unity. But Wayne so beautifully observes that you can't have love without sadness. He says, when we love deeply, at times an inexplicable sadness arises within our love. It seems bittersweet. Why should we feel love and sadness at the same time? We incorrectly believe that a life well lived will be always and continuously saturated with love. We think that the reward of all of our spiritual practice, the correct alignment of our heart and spirit, will mean the elimination of all sadness. But the opposite is often true. As we open our hearts, as we attend to what is beautiful and necessary in our lives and the lives of those we love, we begin to feel more intimately the tender sorrows that fill any human life. The love that opens our heart will also open whatever sadness we have carried for a lifetime. So it is with love and sadness, love and loss. They are simply fertile human feelings that sometimes arrive simultaneously in the tender moments of our lives. And he continues to say, sometimes our losses open our lives to what we truly cherish. Where before we may have felt confused or ambivalent, a moment of grief can galvanize our awareness of what is precious and valuable. So I think the last several years have definitely galvanized our awareness of what is precious and valuable, and has brought clarity to what it is that we truly love, and that we count this community is something that we cherish. And I think sometimes it's in the moments of our greatest losses that we come together the most tightly. I'm thinking of when we lost our dear Bev, and how we all came together in that grief, and how we came together during the pandemic to support one another through sickness and in health. You know, that's known as one of the most ancient of marriage vows, and yet I think it applies to any true, intimate relationship, that we stick together through sickness and in health. So, well done, Unity of Palmyra. We have become clearer and stronger together in the love we share in community. Let's take that into meditation.
We are connected by the heart. Where do you end? Where do I start? Anything you pray for, if fear is in your way, I'm here to listen to anything you need to say. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me and I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. My prayer too. I hear the worries that are in your way. There's nothing I can do to take your pain away, but I'll help you reconnect with that voice that's deep inside. Let angels wrap you in their love, and let spirit be your guide. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me and I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. My prayer too.
And so we breathe together again as one. We breathe into those powerful yet simple words. recognizing our shared humanity, our shared needs and desires, our need to be loved, our need to connect, our need to be seen and to be heard. Our need to feel an acknowledgement that the world is glad that we were born. And so we pray for one another, that we all feel that love. We feel that enoughness. We feel that gratitude simply for being here. We pray for each other that we can find joy, even in the darkest of times. We are reminded of the words of Khalil Gibran that the deeper that sadness carves in us, the more joy we can eventually contain. And so we commit to observing what we say and noticing what we do. We commit to being love not just in words, but in action. We dedicate ourselves to being that safe space, to being that compassionate, caring space where it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry or upset or discouraged. Where we hold up a mirror for one another and remind each other of our magnificence. That's the power of community. Where we know in every cell that your prayer is my prayer too.
I hear the fear that's in your voice. I'm here to help you make a different choice. I'll help you remember that faith is one sure way to set your path aflame with hope that will guide you each day. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me and I'm a part of you. Your prayer is is my prayer too. My prayer too.
Anybody else not want to open their eyes? That was beautiful. Thank you. So this is the time of our service where we get to express even more gratitude for your generosity, for your consistent giving of your time, your talent, and your treasure. We will give you a lift update at the hug meeting, but mostly we just want to say thank you for who you are and what you give and the love in which you give. We are incredibly grateful. Thank you.
Nobody can tell you there's only one song worth singing. They may try and sell you, 'cause it hangs them up to see someone like you. You gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. You're gonna be knowing the loneliest kind of lonely. It may be rough going. Just to do your thing is the hardest thing to do. You gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. So if you cannot take my hand, and if you must be going, I'll understand. You gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. You gotta make your own kind of music, sing your own special song, make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. Be strong.
All right, come on in. Come on down. You got to say hi. I know, it's so hard, Max. Are you coming, Miss Luna? Oh, I see chocolate. All right, so what did you guys learn today? Oh, hold on, let me get you the microphone so we can all hear you. What did you learn, Sam?
We learned about different feelings, and we also watched Inside Out to, because Inside Out has a lot of feelings, and we learned different feelings.
Yes, and a great movie. Awesome movie. Did anybody else like to share? Okay.
We learned about the 5 principles.
Oh, you're going to show us? You want to show us now? Okay. Oh, is this a presentation? Luna, are you going to help? No. Okay, go ahead.
God is good, and so are we. Our thoughts create reality. I meditate and I pray and do my best every day.
Aww. Will you teach the grown-ups that too? That was awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's share our unity blessing. All right, Luna, you want to be blessed? Sam. Oh, man. All right, you ready? Okay, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in each and every one of you. And happy Valentine's Day. All right. Now you can go. I think those are Luna's. You got your goodies? It was a kind of a grandma moment because you can give them chocolate and candy because then they go home. Sorry, guys. All right. I do not need help. One of our family's favorite stories is my mother insists that my first complete sentence was, I can do it myself. I don't see it, do you? Together, we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Let's sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And our closing prayer was inspired by the prayer for protection. As the light of God we shine. As the love of God we embrace. As the power of God we stand in truth. As the presence of God we radiate love. Wherever we are the divine in expression, and all is well with our souls. Amen. Please join us downstairs for lots of soup and our monthly hug meeting. We have a whole bunch of updates for you and some exciting stuff going on. So meet you down there.